What is up guys, it's Mega and welcome back to yet another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my updated runick K9 deck for the new format. We all know K9's got hits, so obviously we've had to do a bit of rejingling. Also there are some new cards in like Burst Protocol which is going to make life a little bit interesting, but nevertheless runicks are still playable and the K9 engine is still very much alive. So let's get into this. Now please bear in mind, this is like a rough draft simply because we don't know what the meta is going to be yet, because obviously we've not even hit the ban list. I think it goes live on Monday at day of this recording, which is in like 2-3 days time. So this is still currently the old ban, the old ban list, so you could actually play free Joe calling free case for K9, but we're obviously play testing with new stuff. So some cards and yet some side deck cards might change in the future when we know fully what the new meta is going to be fully like, so please stay tuned for that. So the K9 cards are actually stayed the same, of like 1 Lupus, 3 Nore, 3 Zuna, 1 Joker now, not 2, not 3, and 2 Lantern rather than 1. We've got 1 Force Release, 1 Case K9 because obviously it's at 1 now. Actually we was already playing 1 in the last deck, so it doesn't really matter. And then 2 Chaotic Elements. Chaotic Elements basically let you add Joker or Lantern from deck or graveyard, so it's just basically an extra 2 piece of the Joker that you'd lost, so it's not the end of the world. All it basically does is plays into Ash just like Joker, and it just basically plays into Droll just like Joker, so it's just basically Joker, just a spell version really. Already it's just basically a tour guide on legs, and you get to see your opponent's hand by sending a K9 card from your field to the grave, so please bear in mind, very cool to see what your opponent's doing, especially game 2 or 3 if you know they've sided in going against you and you're going first, because then you get to see if they've got evenly matched, so you know not to overextend. Assuming it's just a really great go second card. Go first if you get hand trapped. Well, I don't know what I've just did there. But there you go, I just took out an extra copy. Whoopsie daisy. Joker obviously got limited to 1, which is obviously a big. Joker was the one that bridged into other things, because it was like any level 5 monster you could reveal Joker and that monster, so it kind of bridged into anything that was level 5s. So with Joker actually going, like if Joker literally just said reveal itself in any other K9 card, you wouldn't have so many hybrid decks. But obviously for pure variance, it's basically as it is. Joker is still really good, so it's basically summons itself and another K9 monster from to the field, and then obviously you can add a monster from deck to hand. Lantern is basically a Beryl Canary for the deck. It summons itself and a monster from the graveyard, and while Joker adds a K9 monster from deck to hand, Lantern just adds a spell or trap. So the 2 spell traps is Force Release in case of K9. Force Release is just a better version of the, I think it's Restraint Released. Is the other version of Restraint, just the forced that Force Restraint basically pops a card. It's basically just the only difference. And it can only activate during the main phase. So please say better than that. You use one of your K9 cards, either Jack or Ripper, to go into Werewolf basically. Case for K9 basically searches out any K9 monster, then obviously gives our opponents gives our monsters more attack points. The opponent plays a hand trap. Chaotic Elements, like I said, lets you add Lantern or Joker. Fountain basically makes all these runick cards quick play spells. You can activate during, or the order of quick play spells, you can activate them during your opponent's turn, so they're also like hand traps. And other runicks do something that basically stop they all banish cards in your opponent's deck, really cool. And also they all can summon a monster, which is basically going to be either Hugin or Freaky. Freaky is basically just a level 5 extender, so every one of these cards is a level 5 extender to use with one of your K9s to go into obviously Ripper and just have full combo. But they all do stuff other than that. Obviously Tip lets you add another runick card, Destruction, spell trap negate, Flashing Fire destroys special monsters, Freezing Curses is a monster negate, and Slumber just stops either opponents from attacking for a turn or stop some of your cards from being destroyed. So there you go. And basically just to round up the deck, I wanted consistency cards and just good hand traps. So we're running 3 Flagalos, 3 Perugla, 3 Ash, and then obviously the 1 triple tap tactics. So Flugia and or Flugalos, I should say, Flugalos, and Peruglia are basically, they're just good to draw through decks. Obviously, majority of the time, they're both going to be really good, but then you're going to have some matchups, like if you're going to go up against like Regenesis, which is obviously one that I've been going up against a lot. I don't know why. Fugalos is basically dead because they don't summon from the extra deck. But Peruglia, absolute base. It's just like, is it Enacraft? Is it that Pendulum deck? Again, Fugalos is ass, Peruglia is base. But then if you're going up against Live Twin, Peruglia is not the greatest, but Fugalos is like God. So they're both just really good for drawing, and obviously can force your opponent to play hand traps, which would then, like if they don't negate to, which then can make you go Azuna. Ash just hits everything in every format because, you know, Ash is just great. And then tactics, just because, believe it or not, you are actually going to get hand trapped quite a lot. And if your opponent even just interacts with you, you could draw 2 cards. Those 2 cards can be key. You could steal opponent's monsters. It's just a really cool card. It is a 41 card deck. If I had to cut, I most probably will cut maybe 1 correct elements if you want to make it 40. But 41 cards, I've never had an issue. It's just really, the deck really is just consistent. It does actually pump out, and with us actually changing the extra deck and cutting the Fallen, you actually have the extra deck space to just keep out grinding, really. So that's really cool. So into the extra deck, we've got 1 Freaky, 1 Jerry, 2 Hugin. For the Runick lineup, Hugin basically gets access to Runick Foul. Turn off a Runick card you have to discard, so obviously the best discard would be Lupus, because then obviously Lupus can trigger from hand or graveyard anyway. Jerry gets Runick Fountain if it's ever in the graveyard, and also can't be destroyed by card effects, and just pops a card. And Freaky, like I say, is just a level 5 extender. However, if you do it during your opponent's turn, because you can actually just play Freaky. Like, if you know you've got Lupus in the graveyard, you can play Freaky. Your opponent, obviously, if they do something, you just resurrect Lupus and then Bush going to a level 5 extender. And if it does go to the grave, if your opponent destroys it, you get one of your Runicks back from the grave, so that's cool. Ripper is basically just a hand rip from hand or grave, or just a hand or graveyard negate, and obviously searches out a K9 card. So that's really cool. Jax is basically you just summon it, pop a card. Pop a monster, so that's basically going to use Jax during your opponent's turn. Now, Hound is an interesting choice. You don't easily have to play Hound. You could quite easily just cut this. But Hound, I found, is really cool because he can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects the turn he's summoned. And if you use him during Lupus, he then can't be targeted. It's basically like a wall for a turn, and then you just basically use the Hound to go into the big boy Zeus, which clears the field. It doesn't come up as much because obviously playing Runicks, it can obviously counteract with your battle phase, obviously summoning Zeus, but it does come up. And then Werewolf is basically the big boss man. He can detach 1 to... so if your opponent does anything during your turn, you can banish a card from the field and grave, but during just their turn, if they do something, you can banish 1 card out of their hand, which is cool. Nash. So Nash we're basically using for 2 purposes in this version. Nash you can use as an interrupt, as a non-targetable removal. So there you go, as a quick play. And also you use it to go into Masquerade. So you'd usually use. So if you know Nash Knight isn't going to be great, you just want the monster negate. You'd go Nash in. Nash use its effect to attach Masquerade from grave, and then you overlay Nash Knight into Chaos Exceeds Nash Knight, use Nash Knight's effect, detach Nash Knight, and go into Umbral Horror Masquerade. And then because Umbral Horror has Masquerade as a material, it is now a monster negate, which if your opponent... Well, if it does negate an opponent's monster effect, it halves their life points as well. And if it's summoned, you can destroy a spell trap on the field, which is really cool. And then you've got these... Sky Blaster, which is basically a Book of Moon on legs. Like if it quick play during your opponent's turn, during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Book of Moon, and then if it's ever destroyed, you can destroy 1 face down card. So it's cool. So side deck, we've got the free Ghost Spell, which again just really good against Killer Tomb specifically, and against the new Albaz card. I think it's Albaz the White Dragon or something like that. Who summons a Ecclesia from hand, deck, or grave Beyond. So that means you can Ash it and you can Bell it. So Bell might be going back into the main deck, depending how prominent Branded is going to be in Burst Protocol, and obviously it hits Killer Toon as well. Droll is obviously down to 2, that's why we're playing the 2. Just really good card to hit a lot of stuff that search, like for instance Mitsurugi, really hate Droll, Live Twins really hate Droll, so a lot of decks just really hate Droll, so it's really cool. Going second, we've got the Lightning Storm and the Evenly Match, just really great consistency cards to go second if, for instance, some hand traps just aren't great going second. Like for instance, you can actually go up against some games with for Gallows and Prugli are just ass, so you're just going to side them out for these two. If not, just certain ones can come in handy. So if you can take out non-fusion area, this is just here because I do go up against a lot of fusion decks, so I decide to put this in here to help with the Draco Tail matchup. By all means, you can cut this. It is not mandatory, but I just think Branded's going to be more prominent, especially Branded Draco Tail, especially to go into the new format. So that's why this is here. And then Tikaboo, because believe it or not, everything's a different type. All the K9s are not the same type. So you can literally just flip this. If you're going against Yami, it just kills. Go up against Sky Striker, they can't extend. Mitsurugi, they just die. A lot of things just die to there can be only one. Obviously, you wouldn't play it against Draco Tail because obviously they've got dragons and spellcasters, so you wouldn't play against Draco Tail. But a lot of cards, especially in archetypes, just can't deal with Tikaboo. But let's go into the replays, and I will show you what we've been cooking with this decky. Right, so we are going to... So the first one was against Regenesis Dogmatica. I did lose game 1, so this is going to be game... So this is game 2. So I lost the dice... so obviously I lost game 1, I'm now going first. We summon Nerore, which then gets... basically, say our tour guide, which then gets met by Ash. So which means if we do go into Ripper, we basically get a set... We basically get the set our quick play spell for free. This is why Runicks are really good in K9s, but people seem to think I'm mad. So if you were playing pure K9 now, and this was your hand, like if you didn't have an extender, you would literally pass on this, or you would literally just scoop now. Because we have a Runick as a follow-up, we can then go into Freaky and go into Ripper as if we've not even been hand trapped. So we go Freezing Curses, Freaky, and then obviously Runick Fountain lets us put back the Freezing Curses, so we get to draw another card, which turns out to be another Freezing Curses. So then we're going to go into Ripper, like I say. Ripper gets us access to a case of K9, just because I want to see my opponent's hand, because obviously Nerore can make me see their hand, so that's why I want to see it. And so we set Force Release. So we do a case for K9, grabbing Lantern. So you don't have to do a Lantern. Just like Lantern can just go into another level 5, and like I say, what you could also, because Lantern now can't search anything. So that's only downside. So we kind of don't really have a follow up if any of our cards go. So we saw his hand. He had Lightning Storm, which can be negated with Runick, or can be mitigated with Runick, and 2 pots I think he had. So we're going to go into Nash Knight, and we're just going to end on this. So we've got a Suck, Ash Bell, a Negate, Monster Negate, and we can pop a card and go into Werewolf to do even more shenanigans with. So he draws a turn. And he does the part, which obviously he has to do at the beginning of the turn. We just Ash this. I'm not letting him draw more cards. He drew Lava Golem for turn. If I realised this, I would not have summoned a monster. So he drew Lava Golem, rippity rip. So both our monsters are gone. So Force Release is now dead. He plays Lightning Storm, trying to destroy our spell and traps. You can do Freezing Curses to summon Hugin. Hugin can activate the chain to protect our cards from being destroyed. And then Runick Fountain puts back our spell. We drew Runick Tip for turn. So that means we can now play the Tip to add any Runick card from deck to hand. He plays Prosperity as Nadir Servant. Guess what? Nadir Servant can be Ghost Spelled, but we're just going to play. So what I decided to do, because I know he has a Regenesis in hand, I'm just going to play the Tip to add Flashing Fire. So if he did summon his monster, I'm going to destroy it. So like I say, and Runicks just love to banish our opponent's deck. So now he's going to do the Nadir Servant. We Ghost Spell it. He literally ends turn. We draw for turn, drew another tip, which I'm just going to literally just play. Bear in mind, I can't attack him anyway because runick skip your next battle phase. I played a runick during my first turn, so I can't attack him no matter what I do here. So I'm literally just playing runick cards to try and banish his deck, and also if I get 3 in the graveyard, I can do Fountain to draw 3 cards. I know he doesn't have Ash, so I can freely do this. And we drew a Chaotic Elements, which can let us either get Lantern. I could tribute the Lava Golem to get Lantern. To do Joko. Joko can add a Lantern. You can do awesome plays. But we do take 1,000 damage from the Lava Golem. I play Chaotic Elements. He just surrenders and go into game 3. That was literally just one game. So see, weirdly, I found with this deck you win a lot of the times because your opponent just surrenders. It's really cool. So now I'll say he's now run. So this is now game 3. He's now going to go first. He does his regen. I really hate Regenesis. It's such an annoying deck, but it's such a fun deck to play at the same time. So he must have bricked because he played this thing. We ashed it. So it means he's better have it. He better have an extender in hand. He doesn't have an extender in hand, so he can't go into Sage. And he just sets 1 card. So what we're going to do is normal summon Joko because I don't. At this point, I don't really want to summon. I don't want to play runick cards. Because if I do, I'm not going to. I'm not going to attack. So we add Lantern. He doesn't do anything. I was really hoping he would hand trap me. So we do Runic Destruction, destroy his back row. But obviously, because we've added a card, he then just Drolls us. Droll can actually hurt us. Sage is in the graveyard now, which will add back to his hand the next following turn. Obviously, because we played Destruction, 4 of his cards are gone, which are just good consistency cards. So Sage goes back to his hand. We just basically set the Destruction, set the Freezing Curses. I could have done Hugo into Fountain. However, if I did that, I wouldn't have Lantern in hand, and I'll just be relying on top decks. So why I just did this was because I can destroy his Archfiend with Flashing Fire. That basically puts him on a better habit, and also, so then he wouldn't be able to play Sage. But also, if he does summon a monster and outs Jokul, I have Lantern to basically summon back Jokul for a follow-up. And we hit another Nadir Servant. He plays Lightning Storm to try to destroy my last Freezing Curses, in which case I just summon out a level 5 extend. I don't know why I summoned out this thing. I didn't really matter. I could have done Jerry. I could have done anything. I think I summoned out Freaky because then I could get a runic card back from the deck. So he then summons out Sage. Oh no, just the Archfiend. Summon out Sage. I ash the Archfiend. He then attacks Sage. Freaky does have the effect that if it engages in a battle, banish the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. He just basically doesn't read and just negate Freaky's effect by sending the Archfiend. Then Freaky will resolve, letting me add a runic card from back, and then he destroys Joko. And he just ends on the Sage. So now we just play the Flashing Fire, destroy the Sage. Then this is what I wanted with the follow-up. So we do Joko to bring back Lantern. Lantern to bring back Joko. He draws me again. We summon out Azuna. Go into Ripper. Then go into Nash Knight. Even if then obviously Ripper can then stop Sage from coming back to his hand, so he has nothing. So we have a spell or graveyard negate, and if he does summon something, Nash can just steal it. And he literally sees this, doesn't do anything. We draw for turn. Use Nash to go obviously into Umber Masquerade. We get to add a case for K9. The reason I did this was because then obviously I can attack in case he had a monster effect in hand. Case of K9 would have just added back Lantern, summon out 2 monsters, attack for game. So that was it for Regenesis. Now we're getting up against, I believe, this is, we'll go into game, so I think that was one I already played actually. What's this one? Yes, this is, so our hand in this one is actually really interesting. So I do Flashing Fire to discard Destruction because I want to do Hugin to draw some cut to add Fountain, and then you do Slumber, target Hugin, banish 3, and then you get to draw 3. So it's basically, this is kind of like just a pure runic hand. We're against Live Twin Fiendsmith, which is actually a pretty cool deck. Again, so for this game, I won game 1, lost game 2, won game 3. So like I say, now we're going to draw 3 cards. I say it doesn't really matter what we do because we have Tikaboo. Tikaboo stops him from extending into the Fiend Smith stuff, and then also I believe he will stop him also from going into the Live Twin and Extenders because they're all Fiends as well. So Tikaboo is just really good against just one deck alone, and we just summoned Aurora. He just didn't do it. He just literally had nothing. He just couldn't do anything. Also, just so you know, if you normally what you do as a little tip, what I should have done was Neroraid tributed Hugin. Now you might be thinking, why does that matter? It's because if Neroraid got negated, I could have just played the Freezing Curses, summon out Freaky, and extend. Obviously I can't do that because the Runicks have to summon to the extra monster card zone. So obviously with Hugin in play, I couldn't do Freaky if he just ashed me. If he just ashed me, I literally couldn't do anything. So what I should have done was tribute to the Hugin first, and then played him, and I would have been fine. But so that was game 3. He couldn't do anything from that. I don't know what that replay is then. So let's go into so this would be game 1, I believe. Excuse me. If the replay doesn't crash. Here we go. So this is game 1. Our opponent does go first. So he draws plays Sunny Snitch for Kiss a Kill. We chain Fugalos to the Kiss a Kill, and luckily he doesn't ash. And like I say, Fugalos versus Live Twins specifically, and also against the Fiendsmith deck, is very cancerous because I'm going to be drawing a heck of a lot. So he's going to try and make some form of a board. But you just see how many cards I just draw. I was just going through the Fiendsmith lines, draw again. Weirdly enough, I didn't draw a single freaking hand trap. But here's the thing, right? I could have done it sooner and got into Jax like now. I'm basically going to do Jax just to try and. Oh no, I do. Oh no! I thought I did it sooner. I thought I did Jax try and start the Fiendsmith. Oh no! Oh no! I basically. So I think what I did was done Skyblaster to flip the Kiss a Kill face down, because now he can't make Kiss a Kill deal and basically go into full Live Twin combo. He literally just has Fiends. He literally just has Fiendsmiths now. Like if I just literally have let that one Kiss a Kill not flip down, he would have had full board. So he goes into Disarray and basically ends his turn. So now what we're going to try and do is force out Desiree, because then I can play Talents to steal Desiree. Cool. Because here's the thing, right? Because of Desiree's been equipped with Sequence, I can't target this thing. So I can't do Destruction, just pop it. And then obviously if negated that, I'll just do Freezing Curses to negate it. I can't do this because obviously I can't target it. So I have to do Talents to steal it. And I have just the hand to do this without actually having to engage in battle, because obviously if I did a runic card, I wouldn't be able to engage in battle. So I can actually do this without actually entering the battle phase. So what we're going to do is normal summon Aurora. He then just Desirays this on summon. So now we can do the Talents to steal the Desiree. Then we can resurrect Lupus, which then goes into Ripper. Ripper gets Joe, gets Lantern. We flip our Skyblaster face up. We're going to do our Case K9 just to increase our monsters' attack points. Joker resurrects both our monsters. And if we literally just go poke, we'd win. So, like I say, that was game 1. And you... Did I say game 3? Yeah, we saw game 3. So you saw game 1 and game 3. So that was... So that was against the Live Twin player. So this is... game 3, I believe. I won game 1, lost game 2, won game 3. I seem to lose game 2 a lot with this deck. It's really weird. So we normal summon Jokul again. So no Sun Lantern again. It's not the greatest. So he basically ashed Case for K9. Normal summon Lantern. Normally again, if this was pure K9, you'd pass because you can't do out. So and he even drolls me here. So we do Flashing Fire to do Freaky to at least end on Ripper. So we do have a hand or Graveyard Negate, go into and a pot with Force Release, and then rip out of his hand, and then we have Ashen Bell. And this is against Yomi Mitsurugi. So what he's going to do is obviously play Cupsy. We ash this because I don't want him to draw a card. And then, because I know it's specifically Yami Mitsurugi, I'm going to Shotgun Force Release. Because if I just do nothing now, just play full Yumi, won't be able to do it. So at least if I do this, I basically stop him from extending into his. I basically stop him from just going into the to the Yomi line. Then he does Mitsurugi Ritual to summon from he's summoning from hand. So I just know if I I do Werewolf, rip the Mitsurugi from hand, then Ritual will result without effect. Because obviously he can't summon his monster. Then the card goes back to his hand. Then he activates Perugia and obviously just can't do any. Then he just ends because he just got a Ritual and that's it. So that was game 3, really cool. That was this one. Wait. So this is game 1. So this game 1, I have no clue how I won. So we do Perugia on, because obviously I'm going blind here. I just shotgun the Perugia, which weirdly he then shotguns for Gallows. Don't know why he shotguns for Gallows, but I'm not going to lie. Then he just basically does full Yummy. By the way, I cannot wait for this deck to be banned, for this deck to be dead, because Snap, she's going down to 1 and Rip Herald. But we ash the pre-prep. I don't know why he's gone into Masquerade. I thought they did some other thing that ends on a Herald of the Arclight, but he literally just ends on a negated Snatchy, so you can't even bounce the Snatchy, and he has the Masquerader. That's literally all the guy has. So we do tip to add. Phantom, banish Habakiri. If this was after the ban list, the Mitsurugi player would scoop because Habakiri is going to 1. I so cannot wait for this scenario. So now we do Fountain, do the Destruction to destroy the field spell, banish 4. By the way, fantastic banishes, because obviously Mitsurugi only plays 1 of this thing anyway. Then also we're going to add back 2 cards. He then goes into Little Knight to banish the field spell, which is completely fine because obviously I don't care about that now. I do Lantern's effect, summon itself and the Pierce. I do Jokel's effect to add a card. I forgot about IP Masquerader because what I do now is flashing 5 to try and destroy SP Little Knight, so obviously it doesn't banish my Jokel, but obviously I forgot about that. But Joker's effect still resolves. I just summon Amore for free. Isuna, and then we go into Ripper. Ripper lets us add Case for K9, and we get the set card. We go Case for K9, get Lantern. Lantern summons out Namore. What I decide to do now is because I want to see his hand, his last 2 cards. I want to keep Lupus on the field because if I tributed Lupus now, it would be banished. So I tributed Lantern, see his hand, it's pre-prep. I know I've got Ash for that, and he's got a Droplet. So he hasn't really got much. Then obviously we do so we've got Nash, and we set the Slumber. Just the reason why I set the Slumber is because after we've used Nash Knight, have I used Freaky? I don't think I used Freaky. No, Freaky's in my grave. So the reason why I set the Slumber is because then I can do Freaky, and then I can then play Lupus to then go into another Xyz during his turn. So that's a really cool feature for Runicks as well. So I know he's got a Droplet, and I know he's got a pre-prep. So he activates the field spell, shuffling back his cards. He does pre-prep, which will get ashed. He droplets, sending the pre-prep, and he's going to negate Nash Knight. He's going to negate Nash Knight. I then do Force Released to use K9, going into Werewolf to bounce this. I really thought he was just going to droplet negate Nash Knight, but he doesn't. So Werewolf, and then he just leaves. That was game 1. So now we're going to another one. I believe this is another one against K9 Mitsurugi. Oh no, this is the same replay. That's the same replay. So it's really hard to keep on track of all these things. So that was that one there. Now and that one there. It's that one. So again, I think this was I won game 1, lost game 2 and 3. Wait, have I seen this one as well? No, this is a different one. I think this is again against a cup. I think I just banished another cup. So I think this is against another Mitsurugi K9 deck. I say the deck is everywhere. I so cannot wait for it to get banished. And have you just seen? He's interacted twice now. He's got Fugalos and he got Bell. and we're just playing through. This is why talents are really good, drawing 2 cards. Look at those 2 extenders, lovely. So this is definitely a game 2. No, this is definitely game 3 because I've obviously started in draw. But you see how we just keep playing through it. We do in case K9 to grab Lantern. Lantern's going to summon itself and Joker. I always get these 2 names mixed up. I don't know why. We grab the Insuna just for follow up. Going to so the reason why I went to Discipler was because if he summoned out a Yami, I'm just going to book it. He can't then go into Snatchy. Because I know he's obviously got Mitsurugi, I can just do I can just troll him. And then what I decided to do was, because he's adding this thing to add a spell or trap, I'm just trying to force out. I'm trying to force 4 cards out. Hopefully hit a decent card. Sadly, I just hit the wrong engine. And then we're going to draw 3 off of the fountain. And if he ashes me, which I believe he does, Ripper will just negate it. So we're definitely going to draw 3. And here's the interesting thing. I've drawn Droll. I could draw him. But then I can't activate Tip to draw another card. Actually, I could have just chained Tip, so that's not really a problem. But I don't think I drawed him here. No, I didn't. So I activate Tip to get a monster negate. He activates Mitsurugi Ritual, which will then go into Werewolf, and we pop his monster. He activates his monster effect on Habakiri. We negate his thing, and he activates the effect to mill. We just mill a flashing fire. Then we draw him now, so we can't add more cards back. We Book of Moon the Yummy. He activates. So he's activating Mirror, tributing this thing to bring back Habakiri, but because we Flashing Fire destroy it, he hasn't got a target. And then then that was game 3. That was this one. That's 1, that's 2. Should be this replay. Did I go first in this replay? Yes, this is a different one. So we normal summon. So the reason I normal summoned Lantern was just because I wanted to get a case for K9. Then a case for K9 will let me get Joker. Joker summon out for free. Because obviously he negated with a permanent. Again, if this was pure K9, you'd be dead. So I play Runick Freezing Curses, grab Freaky. Then we get to go into draw a card. We drew another fountain, which is Rip. Go into Ripper. Case for K9 lets us get Joker Lantern. Go. Isuna jumps the Lupus, so now we're set up for that. Play. We add another Lantern. Look at this board. So we have a Book of Moon, a negate, a non-targeting removal. I could have gone into Masquerade, but I decided not to, just because I didn't know what the opponent was doing. This was blind go first. We have a Sooner to go into Jax on his turn, so we do have a pop. So we have pop, steal, Book of Moon, hand negate, which is not like a simple Dark Rule No More hates this board. So he goes into Effect Veiler. I did not know what he was doing going into Effect Veiler. I didn't even twig that that it was obviously Mitsurugi Kano at this point. I do steal the Link Karibo because then he can't play his monster's effect in here to extend. I think I just play Nash Knight to absorb it. He goes into Mecha Hornet Drones, summons out his token, goes into Link Spider, and then for some reason surrenders, which I don't know why. But say against full power Mitsurugi, against Regenesis, against Life Twins, yeah, the deck is actually pretty good. I think there was another one, but I'm not quite sure. Was this another one as well? I don't know if this was against the Drytron player. Yeah, this is against the. Oh no, this is even another one. This is another. Again, so many Mitsurugi Live Twin, like Mitsurugi Yummy decks. There's just so many Mitsurugis. So this is a game 3 one. So he basically braked. I asked the pre-prep. He set free. I do Lightning Storm, blow up all 3. to him, perms and a strike. I used to do case of K9, he passes. So what was game 1 in that? So that was definitely game 2 or 3, I can't remember. So he's going first, he then does Part of Extravagance. This is pure Mitsurugi, you could tell, because obviously he's playing Part of Extravagance. So he did Habakiri to summon out Mako. This is a really good... how I won this replay, I don't know, but it's so bonkers when you watch it. So it's basically just going to end on basically a pure Mitsurugi board, which is... This is what Mitsurugi is going to be like when Habakiri's at 1. Well, if you play pure Mitsurugi anyway. So you might think, what is this end board? He has an interruption with this, his Ash, he has his negate, which I believe he can then summon back this thing, and this thing can resurrect stuff if I if your opponent special summons a monster, he can basically resurrect this thing and pop. I don't know what that set card is, I forgot. So I play tip, he negates the tip, I summon out Namore, which then gets SP Lunai. Third, I summon out Lantern, which then triggers out this thing. This thing then pops my Lantern. I can then resurrect Isuna because I play Isuna's effect because he belled me. Isuna's effect, he then special summons again. He imperms me. So now I can't play so I can't dump Lupus. And you might be thinking, this is just ended. Play Runick Fountain, summon out Freaky, draw 2 cards off the Fountain. So I did forget this is an imperm column. But a handy little thing for Runics, you can do a Fountain to replace the Fountain, and then you can do the draw effect again. It's a soft once per turn, thank God for that. So we do Ripper, this thing summons again. So see what I mean? How I won this deck, I have not got a clue, because he has so much protection. So we do Ripper, and that set card was a droplet. I thought he had his Mitsurugi trap card on board, but turns out not. So he droplets my Ripper. I do Fountain, play Slumber. Now, Fountain doesn't really care if the effect resolves or not. It's just if you activated a runic card. So Fountain resolves, and we top deck Talents. We play the Talents, draw 2 cards, and it's the best 2 cards we could have asked for. So Chaotic Element is going to let us add back the Joe. Cool. Then we do Joe Cool summons out itself and Lantern. We just continue playing, boys. Joe Cool lets us grab another Izuna. Joe Cool then Lantern lets us get Force Release. I might as well play it. My card is negated. I can't. So I just do this, try and pop. Well, obviously that thing protects. He then activates this guy's effect to summon it back. Because I can now activate Werewolf during my turn, banishing this guy and the card he's trying to resurrect back. So they both go. Then we do Nash Knight. He again is going to try and just summon out this guy, which we then do Nash. Nash is then going to steal this and very annoying ritual, so he can't do that play again. We then go into Chaos Nash. I did do the time. This is when I had a Silent Honor Arc. I realised I couldn't activate the effect because of it didn't have a Masquerade, so I did swap those 2 cards around. So we did go into Silent Honor Dark by mistake. Dark does steal out one of his monsters, so he's back with an SP level 9. But we do have a Lupus on board here. I believe it's somewhere around here. Oh, is my Lupus gone? Oh, I don't think I summoned that Lupus. So we do have Izuna during his turn, so we can obviously still extend. So he then banishes it, droplets me again, hitting both these 2 cards. Goes into Babushka and literally passes. This guy self-destructs. We can't do anything, so I just pass. He then extravagances. Summons out his goes into attack mode and pops the cards. Because the K9 attacked this turn, we can now, or battle this turn, we can set Force Release. He activates Little Knight, which then triggers Werewolf's effect. I just want to see his hand in hand rip something. So he's got a Habakiri, he's already played the effect, so he can't do it again. He's got a Imperm, and he's got a... So I know he's got Imperm, I know he's got Nibiru in hand. So I know his hand is really, really weak. So we draw for turn, we drew another tip, which is then going to let us do Destruction. Destruction lets us destroy the Imperm, banish 4 more cards. Look at that, what we're banishing. Oh! Then we draw another 2, summon out Nomori, he just literally passes. So you just see how good this deck grinds against pure Mitsurugi, against a lot of decks. So that's it for the replays, guys. A lot of replays, I know, but it's just basically just carry on going and going. The deck is actually pretty cool. Again, I might be changing it for when we know what the meta is officially, but it really is a cool deck. Give it a try, and it really is fun if you enjoy Runicks. So without further ado, guys, see you on the next one. Take care.